You could really make yourself nuts with a Thanksgiving turkey. You could brine it a few days before, you could season it, you could smoke it, you could deep fry it, you could grill it. But you know what? No matter what you do, it's actually not gonna taste that much better than if you just rub it down with salt and put it in the oven. Promise. I like to call this the unturkey because it's unbrined, it's untrussed, and it's unbasted. It is the easiest turkey you'll ever make, and I think one of the best. Just to make my turkey that much more delicious, I'm gonna add some grated citrus zest. I've got lemon. The lemon just adds a brightness. Tangerine is really nice too. Lime, calamansi, clementine, ugly fruit. No, don't use ugly fruit. Some people call this type of seasoning a dry brine. If you're helping the turkey lock in moisture, it makes a much richer, more tender bird, a well-seasoned bird, and it's a lot easier than trying to do a wet brine. At this point, you could wrap up your turkey, put it in a couple of layers of plastic wrap, or you could get one of those really large plastic bags that they sell to put turkeys in. I've got some smashed peeled garlic cloves. I've got rosemary, sage, thyme. Okay. And I also have the neck here. Let's put that in the bag. Squish them together a little bit. The longer that you let your bird sit in the dry brine, the more evenly seasoned it's gonna be. But if you don't have time, you can just let it sit on the counter for a couple of hours while you preheat the oven. That's gonna work. Or even just the day before, and it's all going to make the bird that much better. 3 days later, I'm gonna pat this dry, and then I'm gonna put it back in the fridge. And what that does is the fan from the fridge is gonna help dry out the skin. I want a nice, crisp skin. So the bird's all ready to go. I'm just gonna get the pan ready for it. Got some lemon here. Hard apple cider. You could just use regular apple cider too. Some white wine. You could also just use some turkey stock if you wanted, or even plain water. Come on, little bird, big bird. Oiling the bird up means that I won't have to baste it later. The good thing about not stuffing and not trussing your bird is it'll actually cook a lot more quickly. So that bird over there, which is 10 to 12 pounds, is probably gonna cook in 2.5 hours. I'm gonna start the bird at 450 to give it some nice color on the skin, and then I'm gonna turn the heat down. So now I'm gonna take his temperature just to make sure. I'm looking for 165. Now that's your safe number. You want to hit 165. I do 2 thermometers, and then I kind of check all over just to make sure that it's evenly cooked. Great, we are where we want to be. And now I'm just going to take a nice sturdy wooden spoon, stick it right in the turkey cavity there, and then you move him over to the cutting board. And now he's ready to carve, but before you carve him, you have to call all your friends and family in and make them admire this. My favorite parts, I love the wingtips, crunchy wingtips. I love the tail, the Pope's nose. Basically just fat and skin. Okay, who wants dark meat and who wants white meat? I call the neck. Does anyone really use a carving knife? Like seriously? Right? Can I use my hands?